It's 6 p.m. on Tuesday, December the 19th, and I hereby call this regular scheduled meeting of the City Council to order. Could you please bow your heads for invocation by Councilman Marr?
O Lord, we ask you to watch over this gathering tonight, to let us all be felt in your presence, that we may live the Christmas life of joy and love and sharing. Lord, we ask you to give us wisdom, to give us the ability to do your will, and to make the city of Diamond Head a better place. And we ask you to watch out for all those in the world who are in need and all those who are crying out for help. Lord, we ask you to help us in this gathering, and we ask you that everybody may feel the love of the Christmas spirit. And this we all ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk?
Mayor DePrio.
Here.
Councilmember Finley.
Here.
Councilmember Lisi.
Here.
Councilmember Cumberland.
Here.
Councilmember Marr.
Here.
Could I get a motion to confirm or adjust agenda?
Move to confirm.
Motion made by Councilman Cumberland to confirm. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second made by Councilwoman Lisi. All in favor?
Aye.
The next regularly scheduled meeting of the City Council will be held on January 2nd, 2024, 6 p.m. here in the council chambers located at 5000 Diamond Head Circle. City Hall will be closed on December 25th and December 26th in observance of Christmas. City Hall will be closed on January 1st, 2024 in observance of New Year's holiday. Next, we're going to have the City Manager's Report.
Thank
Mr.
you,
John McGraw.
Thank you, Mayor. Just some quick updates on our current projects we have out there. The Park 10 Road project currently has a scheduled calendar date of 270 days to end on June 1st. They are very much on schedule and are about 25% complete, the overall project. Their plans are to have all the drainage and electrical conduit in place by the end of this month, and then with the expectation of seeing rock and roadbed starting first of the new year. The Noma Drive Restoration Project's a 150-day contract with a scheduled end date of February the 7th. That one is currently on schedule and is probably over 50% done. The base layer of asphalt's been installed, as well as the new multimodal pathway. That one may need a change order for days, just because we're putting them on hold a little bit until we get the multimodal path brick decision made. So I'll get back with you guys on that first of the new year. Bowview 2, those bids were opened on the 29th of November, and they're on your agenda tonight for approval to accept and to award. The Phase 4 paving project, the contractor finished up on that and completed the punch list items, and so the engineer is preparing the closeout documents on that one. The overall project was, I think it was on the last agenda, $250 more or less over the overall job, so not too bad. The bond paving project, the contractor, it's a 150-day contract to be scheduled to end on March the 6th. The contractor's finished all the paving portion and currently is in the striping phase right now. Kind of taking a little longer than I would want on that, but they are working on that to get all the striping done. Right now, you've got just the lines down, and I think next is getting all the crosswalks put in, as well as the signage for the bike lane and everything there. The Montjoy Creek project, the easement is on your agenda for approval. This will provide the 15-foot easement for the walking trail, and the project's scheduled to go out for bid in February. Unfortunately, I did get an update that it may take a little bit longer than that, as DMR is requesting some additional information. So we may be a little later on that one than we hoped. The Noma Drive Phase 1B, as we're calling it, which is the rebuilding of the boat ramp and the kayak launch in the first section of the boardwalk. That should be on your agenda for January the 2nd to get permission to advertise and get that project started. Kaliki Way is on your agenda for tonight for approval to advertise. The drawings you should have is 90% done. A few minor changes that will be needed here and there as they finish up should not affect that advertising date. Bayou Drive project, same thing. It's on your agenda for tonight for approval. So, they're also at 90% complete, but they'll finalize those drawings and should have that before the advertisement date. Noma Drive Boardwalk, the project is has been selected for funding, and we're awaiting the grant agreement. The engineer's working on the preliminary drawings for that project. And new one I added, the detention ponds. I met with the POA regarding the 4 ponds that are on the golf course, identified for dredging to allow for greater stormwater detention. The POA was very, very receptive with those additions or removal of the sediment out of those ponds, as well as some additional growth to the ponds. We were going to add a little more space to them to help hold more stormwater. So the engineer's working on that. Hopefully by the first of the year, we'll get started on that project. On the rest of it, the rest are the engineering projects that we're moving forward on. Spoke with Covington this morning, Turnberry, Comey Drive, and I think there was another one, Fairway Drive. They're working on those, and hopefully we'll have those to us first of next year. And I have a meeting with Kenichi first of the year to see if we can get moving on the Coon Branch area of projects that he has. And the other projects, canal dredging, dog park, Noma Drive, walking trail, really nothing's changed on those at this time. We're just waiting on additional information on each one of them.
Okay, thank you for the update. On the Kaliki drainage project that is advertising tonight, Iki Street has a sinkhole. Are we looking at that before we put it out on the 28th? Yes, we are.
Yes, that one's being, he's
Okay.
going to look at that project, or part of that project as well.
Okay, that sounds good. The drawings I went through sheet by sheet for hours. They're amazing. Excellent job. Just that sinkhole needs to be fixed because the road's caving in. The other question I had was, and I think a lot of people want the same answer, the striping on the new roadway. The new roadway is phenomenal. We had 0 complaints on the new asphalt. It is a wonderful project. The contractor was first class. We all love it. But the narrowing of the traffic lane is a concern by many. So you're revisiting that right now? Did you say that, or no, you're not?
I know,
Okay.
that's how it was drawn, and the engineers designed it. The main reason is it slows the traffic down, which is what we want to see on our main roads. And then it provides a lot of safety with that 2-foot buffer between the travel lane and the multimodal lane. And then the multimodal lane is the width it is so that golf carts, bicyclists, pedestrians can all use it together.
And maybe once we look at seeing the legends, which is going to be bicycle legends painted, because right now everybody's confused. We're all over the place. We're all going in. Somebody sped past me to get to the stop sign on the other side. So we're confused. It's very difficult.
Well, it's all one lane. That's what everyone needs to realize. Stay up against the yellow line. That's the important thing.
Okay. So Councilman Moore, any questions?
Yeah, following up on that, is it my understanding correct that those double white lines are federally mandated as to their size and width apart?
I would not say mandated, but they are the suggestion if you are putting in what is called a buffered bike path. And that's exactly what we did. And it's for safety, to allow for that safety between, or separation in between the motorists and the pedestrians and bicyclists that are using the multimodal lane.
Okay. Councilman Finley?
No questions. Yeah, I just when you looked at the original, that's exactly what was on the plan, and it was designed to slow traffic down and then give it a buffer. And I think it's different, obviously, but once it's finished, it's a work in progress. I think everybody will be happy with.
All right. Councilwoman Lisi.
Thank you. So, just to clarify, golf carts are supposed to drive where?
The way it was designed by the engineer, the golf carts, bicyclists, and pedestrians are all to use the multimodal path.
Okay.
Now, of
And-
course, golf carts can also use the roadway if they so choose or need to, but if they're passing
So
somebody
they
or
can,
whatever.
so they can
But-
use either one.
But the intent was, being the width that we have it, is so that all of them can use that path
Okay.
or that lane.
Okay, and then in the middle of the two white stripes, because it does look very confusing
Right.
right now, they're gonna be, what
There'll
can
be
we
traffic
expect to see there?
buttons, as they're called.
Okay,
Um,
and will
little-
it reflectors or?
Little reflectors that will, tell you, hey, you're veering out of your lane and be careful.
Okay,
But that's to come. Unfortunately, that was not price-wise available to be put in the contract, so we'll do that ourselves after.
okay. And then, okay, so the dredging on Turnberry, that's great news. So the pond on the fourth hole, so we can expect that to start looking better pretty quickly, probably?
Well,
Yes.
hopefully we'll have advertisement at the first of the new year, or maybe the second meeting, and then we'll see see that looking better.
Okay, great.
We've got to meet with the POA still, just because we haven't met with them on that pond specifically, to get their agreement and sign off on that they will allow us to do what we need to do to that pond
Okay.
for the detention that's needed.
Okay. And then while we have such a good crowd here, can you kind of go into a little more detail about the plans for the dog park at the other location and like where we are? Because I think a lot of people think it's a dead. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better? Better? I was just asking him if he could go into some detail about the plans for the dog park, because I think people think it's dead and not happening, and I just wondered if you could clarify.
Well, I don't know that I have a lot to update you with. We have a piece of property that is owned by the county currently. Right now, we're looking at separating that out into different parcels,
Mm-hmm.
and that will come up on the next P&Z meeting, or the next P&Z meeting after that, to get that separated. So it takes a little time to get that subdivision
And
redone.
it's not crammed behind the library and between houses and behind the library, right?
My current choice, if it all will work out, would be actually on the south side of the road between the Shepherd Square Ochsner buildings and parking lot and the road itself. I met with Ochsner. They actually were very excited about it and thought that was a great idea and addition to the area as well. So.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
All right, Councilman Cumberland?
Nope, just wanted to say I like the new lanes. I think it looks great. We walk on it, and the multimodal lane is not consistent where we walk, and
Right.
so I kind of get it. I understand why.
Right.
I'd rather the driving lane be consistent
Right.
than.
And it's not. Unfortunately, the overall Diamond Head Drive is between 19 feet wide to 23 or 24 feet wide, just depending. And the consistency that we chose is to make the travel lane to be 10 feet, and then the multimodal lane 7 to 8
Whatever's left
feet
over, huh?
to whatever's left over. And, so
Yeah.
some areas it does come up to 8 or 9 feet wide, or
Yeah.
9 or 10 feet wide, and that's mostly over in Diamond Head Drive East area. Diamond Head Drive West is about 19 feet wide through that, and I think almost all of Diamond Head Drive North is 20 feet. So you're talking only an 8-foot lane over there, and even less. And it seems like it gets smaller and smaller as I drive. I don't know if that's just me or what, but it just seems like as you drive,
You get more used
it's
to
just
it.
not as much there
Yeah, you-
as it was.
I know a lot of people are here to talk, so that's all I'm going to have.
Okay, so with that being said, we're going to move on to public comments. So if you have a non-agenda item, which is one that'll be, I see someone has a few on here about sewer. Those items will be done after we do the motions. So we're going to move forward. Claire Hansen, is yours about an agenda item? Okay, that's an agenda item. You want to come up?
Nancy, mine was agenda item.
Oh, Diane, okay, hold on a minute, Diane, come on. Hers is about an agenda item. I'm sorry, Miss Claire.
Can I start if it's about the second item?
Yes, honey, you come
It doesn't
talk.
matter?
No, come on up.
Okay, so planning commission recommendation.
Yes,
Okay, is this where I stand? Let me
yes
address
it is.
y'all.
Say your name and
I'm
your
Diane
address.
Schober. I live at 7818 Maui Circle in the very center.
I wanted to share my knowledge and my experience in regards to the complex that's being put forth. I just retired from the MDEQ at the end of September. I was the Compliance and Enforcement Municipal Manager. And I have looked at many lift stations and sewer collection lines. And when you're talking about rental properties, you're notoriously going to see a lot of grease go down. People that do not own their own homes prefer to fry and then flush the grease down. And what I have seen across Mississippi, I have seen almost every sewer plant in the state of Mississippi. You're going to see your diameter collection lines, your ID, the inside diameter, be drastically reduced over time. We have an 8-inch line that's going to run from there up, is what I believe it is. And so the lift station will be, and I'm not saying probably, it will be heavily affected by the fats, oil, and grease. The flushable wipes is a tremendous problem in rental properties. And the flushable wipes, they call them flushable, they are not flushable. They go down the toilet and then they hit the pump and they kill the pumps. And so we'll be looking at sewer overflows. We'll be looking at things coming out of the manholes. We'll just be having a problem area at the front of Diamond Head. Diamond Head in the past has had, I think it was a state, it may have been an EPA order for sanitary sewer overflows. And EPA does watch Diamond Head very closely. When I was managing, EPA was trying to force the DEQ to go ahead and enforce on Diamond Head because of the number of SSOs, sanitary sewer overflows in our area. And because I love Diamond Head, I fought back really hard, yelled at the EPA, and said, they will get this fixed. And your Water and Sewer Board did good. They expended the money, and they are correcting it. So anyway, I just wanted to voice my concerns, let you know my experience and my knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, Miss Claire. I'm working the timer and calling the names, so.
I'm Claire Hanson, 6614 Ahiahi Place. I have lived here since 1992 and seen many changes, most of which I don't like. When we built here, houses had to be no less than a certain square footage and so many feet from the next dwelling. Now that has all gone by the board, with more and more green spaces being swallowed up and the very precious loss of animal habitation. All of this to build smaller and smaller homes to cram more and more people into Diamond Head because of greed from City Hall, greedy developers, and of course money-grabbing realtors. Now you want to turn a commercial area into mixed use by building 4-story high condos which look more like army barracks to accommodate 58 minute units at an exorbitant price. Not only are you ruining the wetlands and the lovely duck pond area, which is a bird sanctuary, but you are also ruining the view for the residents of Lakeview Court and no doubt badly affecting their property values. Who wants to look out at a monstrosity of a building, garages, and a parking lot? If this project goes ahead, the city will have to grant a number of variances, which are in violation of the TCMU regulations. Also, the project will add another burden on the collapsing infrastructure of the Diamond Head Water and Sewer Board, who can't or won't deal with the many existing drainage and sewer problems. There should be no more development until the water and sewer system is overhauled. And what about the fire department needing to purchase an over $1 million fire truck with a high enough ladder in the event of a fire at the building? Who is going to pay for all this? The day after the October 3 City Council meeting, a man identifying himself as a consultant for the developer stated that the neighboring residents can present any kind of wish list they have, but the bottom line is that once the zoning has changed, they can build whatever they want and the neighbors have nothing to say about it. Is this a bait and switch project whereby the developer will decide to build rental properties, or perhaps low-income Section 8 housing, which has been a rumor for years? City Hall has a sneaky and nefarious way of going about changes, keeping the residents uninformed and in the dark, never consulting with the residents before making radical changes to Diamond Head. City Hall philosophy is to hell with the residents and let's see what we can get away with. So from me, absolutely no to changing the zoning of this area.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Mr. Ken.
Merry Christmas to all of you.
Merry Christmas.
I'll start on a little easier light here. But anyway, I don't see very many spectators here that look like comprise a bedroom community, that's for sure. Because I've been told. Okay, I'm sorry. I just said that I don't see many people here that would fit the definition of a community. A bedroom community.
He's saying we have a beautiful community, and yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Anyway, about a couple of weeks ago, I ran into Mr. Brown, who I see is sitting right behind me, and he cued me in on the fact that there was going to be a large condominium built near the entrance. And I was very disturbed about that. We've only been over here about a year. And of course, I agree with you, the Diamond Head Drive East is turned out pretty well, but it's only taken a year. I mean, that road's been tore up for a year with that and the sewer and water. So it was, I guess it was worth the wait, but we had a sacrifice. Now, I've got a point of order. I guess I'm not a Robert's Rule guy, but I got a point of order on how the zoning went from the high density to the, what do you call it, the town center mixed use. How did that come about? Was that done by another resolution, or was that planning and zoning? I'm just curious about that. Do you know?
Legal, do you want to answer?
The council approved the rezoning. That it's a new district. It has not been placed on any map at this time, but a new district was approved, recommended by planning and zoning, and approved by the city council.
Okay.
That's how the district was created, sir.
Because the last resolution I seen was the high density one. So.
Okay, and I messed yours up, but you still have 1 minute. I'm sorry.
Okay, what do you got, 3 minutes?
Yes, sir, 3
Okay.
minutes.
That's not long, okay. I'm just going to hit a few things. I know
Okay.
Mr. Brown's going to talk quite a bit on it. But I saw, Honorable Mayor, I saw your press release in 2021 about your plan for an Envision 2040. But I thought it was kind of strange that the zoning hadn't even occurred yet. That kind of startled me that the zone, you were doing the cart before the horse. Now we moved from Covington, who essentially outgrew itself, and we discovered this community as essentially a retirement community. And I still look at it as a retirement resort community. I don't look at it as a bedroom community. Anyway, the 4 acres that Cure Land wants to develop into a condo just doesn't seem like it belongs in this community. I think it would set a bad precedent for this community. He's done it, or actually the the corporation has done or LLC has done a similar takeoff in Bay St. Louis. It has the Pearl Hotel. So I think this is a kind of a similar takeoff of that. The Pearl has 59, this projection is 58. So I think it'd be an easy flip as far as the plans, et cetera.
Okay, we're going to have to call
No,
your
I'd like
time,
to
but
submit, I sent each of you all, including you, Honorable Mayor, and the councilman, I've sent you each a
The time is up, sir. The time, your 3 minutes is up. We have so many people that
yeah, I know.
we can't allow
We have
somebody
two
to have a
pages.
minute here and there.
I'm just going to submit this for the record, that's all.
Okay, can you hand it to the
Just
city clerk?
hand it over that way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Beverly Ledette has yielded her time to Don Duff. So, Mr. Duff. And also, so let me set my clock here. You have been yield time 3 times, right? Is that correct? 3 times to you?
That, maybe more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see 1 here, so we'll scratch that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
So you have 12 minutes, so give me 1 second. Let me fix you
Oh, I
up.
can just keep going?
Go ahead, we're going to give you a minute to extra. You can go ahead.
Okay. My name is Don Duff. I'm a licensed professional engineer. I have a degree in civil engineering from the University of Kentucky and a graduate degree from Xavier University in Cincinnati in business administration. During my career, I was in charge of the design, development, construction, and initial operation of over $140 million of projects. These projects consisted of the development of new cargo handling facilities and expansion of existing terminals. These projects often involved large office, warehouse, and maintenance buildings. This experience provides me with the expertise to investigate the details of projects such as this proposed condominium development. And I must tell you that my wife says that communicating with an engineer is like communicating with the dead, but hopefully I'll be able to communicate a little better to you. This property is currently zoned commercial, and the change is to change it, proposed change is to change it to town center mixed use, which is not currently listed in Article 4, zoning districts and use regulations for Diamond Head. It has been stated that 70% of these units will have to be pre-sold. It has been indicated also that these units will range in cost from $350,000 for a 1-bedroom unit to $550,000 for 3-bedroom units. It is likely that the cost will have to be reduced in order to sell many of these units. My concern and concern of others is that when the sales diminish, the price will go down and then the quality will go down in order to be able to pre-sell these units. The other concern I have is that if 70% of these condos are not pre-sold, this will allow the owner of the 8.72 acre site to build just about anything under the town center mixed use zoning. This will be, I think, a bad thing for Diamond Head. The location of these condominiums has a view of a wetland on one side and a view of the backyards of homes on the other side. There are plenty places in Diamond Head where condominiums could be located that would have a better view. And this condominium development is being passed off as it is going to be similar to the past Marianne condominium development. And there's a 174-page report called the Zimkus report that lists numerous things that are issues with that condominium development. I will be glad to go over the details if you wish, but it has a lot of problems. My next door neighbor had a unit there, and it was such a problem to her that's why she moved to Diamond Head. She was even afraid to lean on the railings because they were metal railings that corroded so badly that they were dangerous. The water, when it would rain, the porches were sloped the wrong way, and it flowed into the condos instead of away from the condos. And that's just a few of many of the things that were problems with those units. I made that writing so small I need my glasses to see. I want to be sure that we are able to preserve the beauty of our community. And when people drive into our community and see a 49-foot high building, this is just not in, it is not going to look like anything else around it. All of the commercial facilities in that area are one-story. Residents on the other side of that building will be our single-story residents, and this building will tower over everything in that site. And you'll even see it from the interstate. It'll be so big. It will look like a Marriott hotel. I just feel that this building will be an eyesore, and I don't feel it's that it's a type of structure that should be built in Diamond Head. We feel that this is a beautiful community. It's part of the reason we moved here. My wife's brother and her wife moved here first, and then our son and his family moved here. And we found it to be such a beautiful community, we decided to move here. We just don't feel that this is the type of thing that should be built in Diamond Head. It'll look more like the kind of structures that you have in downtown Gulfport rather than Diamond Head, which we think is a community that is it's different than other communities around us. It's beautiful. When you drive in, you see the duck pond and the ducks and geese in it, and a four-story building just is not going to benefit our community. Can I keep going?
You can. You have 5 minutes.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to identify is that our community needs commercial facilities. We would like to see a lot of light commercial facilities built on that site, such as office facilities, arts and crafts stores, additional restaurants, clothing stores, etc. It's located in an area that is commercial, and to build a four-story building where we need commercial facilities just does not seem like the right thing to do. There are the postcards that we sent out. I was surprised. I found out there are 4,550 residents in Diamond Head because when we paid for the postcards, we paid for them to deliver them to each resident, and we had them Diaz Printing produce 5,000 postcards, and so we had 450 left over that we distributed. That at 2.6 people in the average household in the U.S., that means we've got at least 12,000 residents in Diamond Head. And the commercial facilities that are located along Aloha and Kalani are just not sufficient for the needs of our community. And to take away the commercial property that is needed and that is in the right location, I think is the wrong thing to do. If the owner, we don't know what the owners of the property would end up doing, whether they would eventually try to develop commercial facilities on that site if the rezoning is not allowed. But other things that we think could be built there that would be beneficial would be assisted living facilities, or another nursing home, or something my wife and I felt would be very appropriate would be a senior activity center. I'm going to get into some detailed stuff that if my time runs out, I'll just present it later if you all want to find out about it. One of the things I wanted to specify is about the retention pond. If this facility is built, it needs to have a retention pond that will at least collect the 3 inches of rainfall in a 12-hour period. 100-year rainfall is 6 inches in 3 hours, and we've had rainfalls of that extent in this area before. But if you would catch at least 90 to 95% of the major rainfalls with a 3-inch, if you can catch a 3-inch rainfall from the property that would be developed, and that the surrounding property that is the outfall goes into that area. I calculated it would be about 7.5 acres of area, and a 3-inch rainfall would be about 611,000 gallons of water that would flow into the retention pond. And a retention pond for that amount of water at 4-foot average depth would be 143 feet by 143 feet. I seriously wonder if there's enough room to build a pond of that size. The retention pond would be something that would be seriously needed on this project, because the outfall from that property empties into the Duck Lake Pond, which is a bird sanctuary. That also is one of the major attractions of Diamond Head. If we destroy that pond, we destroy a lot of the beauty of Diamond Head and a lot of the attraction of residents and people coming to this area. So it needs to be taken into account, anything that's done. The duck pond's already been seriously impacted. When they cleared that site in 2014, is that my 12 minutes?
That's your 12 minutes.
Oh,
and I
goodness.
think you were
Okay.
12.
Well, maybe somebody else will give me a little extra time, but I would.
You actually have 3 more. Terry Duff had yours on there.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, let me set the timer.
The,
Give me 1 second.
you
There
gonna-
you go. Go ahead.
All right. In 2014, that site was cleared, and no provisions were made for collecting the sediment from that site. That's the main reason that there's so much sediment in the south end of that pond. It was cleared again in 2017 without proper provisions, and then when the Dollar General store was built, they made some provisions, but not nearly sufficient, and the pond remained brown until they finished that development. So when this facility is built, it's going to seriously impact that pond. And one of the other things that I researched is that if this site impacts more than 5 acres, then it puts it into a different category. And Paul Brown and I physically measured the area that will be impacted by this development, and And we measured only up to the wooded area. The wetlands goes a little bit into the woods, so we didn't even take that into account. The area that would be impacted is 4.29 acres. Then when you add the entrance road, which is a 2-lane road with a median, and it measures off of their plans, 55 feet wide. You've got to have at least 10 feet for drainage beyond that, and then 20 feet for easements beyond that. So that's a 75 or an 85-foot wide area. That adds another 0.77 acres. That causes it to total 5.06 acres. And why does that matter? Once you get over 5.85 acres, then you have to have a large construction notification of intent and a stormwater pollution plan that is submitted and approved by the DEQ. That will be a lot of added cost that I don't think the developers have even taken into account. The other concerns that I have is what about the water and sewage? A new lift station will probably be required. Is the sewage plant able to take on 58 units that will be at least probably 200 residents? And are sewage and water fees going to be increased because of added costs that they're going to incur? And is our water pressure going to drop? Okay.
You have used a lot of minutes. I think
Thank
we're out
you.
of them.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Beverly.
Hi, everybody. Beverly O'Hara at 7334 Annalea Street. I concur with all of the speakers. I don't really have a lot to add. I do work at the Gulf Coast Ecosystem Restoration Council, which we do partner with MDEQ and EPA, and I have real serious questions about the drainage, the infrastructure, the traffic, all of that, besides the aesthetics of driving in and seeing that big building. If they were going to put it on the south side, that may be a different thing with shops on the bottom level and condo or apartments above it. I don't think that's the proper place for it. And I am afraid if those condos don't get sold and we make this zoning change, we could get anything because the change is done. And I'm really, really against that. That's it, short and sweet.
Thank you, Beverly. Okay, next is Sunny. Oh, did you give yours to who? Do you wish to come back for your 3 minutes? Okay. Did anybody else yield their time to Mr. Don? Okay, yell out your names real quick. Karen Hurstel? Okay, let me check that one. And who was the other?
Last name was Monaco.
Monica?
And then did he get his own 3 minutes in addition to all
He
the?
he already got
did?
he got
Okay.
his 3 already.
My 3 minutes.
And that would be
Rose Trahan to Jesus.
okay. So we got Rose, Karen, Monica, Laura. Laura, which sheet did you sign on? Oh, okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people. Oh, you're at the top. Okay. All right. Let
Can I
me fix
start?
this clock. and
Okay.
we will get you started. Give me 1 second. Okay, go.
Can I start now?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. Again, I was on the water and sewage, which and I think should be a concern to everyone. I know we're having a lot of issues in Diamond Head already with homes that sewage is backing up into the homes. We are adjacent to this site on the north side. If they have sewer issues, it's likely going to back up into our house first because we're probably the lowest one in regards to where that building would be. We'll be below it, in other words. And that's just a major concern that we have, and it I'm sure they'll have to put some kind of sewage lift station in, but will it be sufficient to prevent the backup of sewage further to the north? And then again, will the water pressure be sufficient to that it won't drop the water pressure in other homes surrounding this facility, having so many residents? And while we're on the point of the number of units in this facility are 58, which if it had been 60, they would have had to have 2 entry roads, not just one. That just seems to me that that's pushing the limit. I mean, they should have 2 entry roads anyway for safety reasons. What's going to happen if the road gets blocked and the fire truck can't get in, or if the ambulance can't get in, or any other safety situation? It's not a situation that should 200 or so residents should be put into that peril. And there's going to be a lot of traffic issues, I think, in the morning and in the evening, because you've got 139 parking spaces and 24 parking garages. And so that means there's going to be somewhere in the range of 150 to 160 cars leaving in the morning, coming back in the evening, and they'll have to cross over Jex Drive to go south, and then in the evening they'll come back and along Jex Drive. But I just think it will create traffic issues and the potential of traffic accidents. This development's going to have what was indicated. It's going to have the 24 garages are going to be 16 feet high. From what I understand, they'll probably be metal. They're going to border the houses that are on Diamond Head Drive East. We live over on the duck pond, but if I would say that the people that live on Diamond Head Drive East looking out the rear of their house and seeing a 16-foot garage, that's just not going to be a very good view. And some of the other issues that I wanted to go over are there's nothing indicated in the plans about a buffer area. We understood that Diamond Head required a buffer zone of about 20 feet wide of trees and shrubs along residence, but that's not indicated. There needs to be fencing. We feel it should be at least a 10-foot high fence around along the property lines of the houses on Lakeview Court and along Diamond Head Drive East. The building, if it is built, it should be a building that has a brick facade. The lighting should be lighting that doesn't cause issues with the neighbors, so that it doesn't shine in their face. should be low-level lighting like was used at the water and sewage plant. The other concern we have is the balconies that on these units, especially the ones on the east side. We'll be looking right down into the houses that are along Diamond Head Drive East. That's just not a desirable thing for the residents in that area. Do I still have some more time?
You do, 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
Whoa. The town center mixed use that this is to be rezoned to, as I said, it's not even listed in the zoning information provided by the city. It is something that I'm assuming is still being worked on, but it is presented in the Envision Diamond Head 2040 plan, and I feel that these changes should be explained to the residents better, and maybe in meetings where you go through some of the details of it and have a question and answer session. That plan's 160 pages, the Diamond Head, Envision Diamond Head 2040, and it's hard to understand it in a lot of places. I think it applies more to like a city in Colorado or something than it does in Diamond Head, because it just doesn't look like our area. But I think the Envision plan should be presented in more detail. It should be voted on by the residents, and we should be allowed to have more say-so on how our city is going to be developed over the next, between now and 2040, so that we do retain a community that is beautiful and that is in line with the type of community we have at present. I have some other topics, but I think Paul's going to speak on the fire and some other concerns that we had, so I'm going to stop at that. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
help.
Thank you.
What about, I can't read this first name, last name, Sheets? You can, that was 7 minutes. Please remind me, Paul, 7 minutes added to your 3.
Hello, my name is Uwe Seitz. I live at 2460 Icky Place on the south side in Diamond Head. I'm just looking for the why. Like, why would we approve something like this? It makes no sense. What's the motivation? We need C2 property. There's C2 property. And I'm just puzzled why anybody would support this for this type of a development. So I'm going to be very, eager to talk to each of you and understand kind of where your position is and why you think this is the right fit for us. I've heard nothing but cons. I'm waiting for somebody to bring me 1 or 2 pros outside of some additional tax dollars, but I just don't think it's the right fit. And I'm opposed. And I hope you guys really take this under consideration. It's not something that's good for our community. So please think this through. When you look at, there's so many questions about costs and drainage and fire. And I mean, it's kind of like just sitting here for 10 minutes and it's kind of like, yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that we still need to do, questions we need to answer. It's almost a no-brainer. So I don't know how it's even gotten this far, but that's kind of my comments, and very strange that we would even consider something like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Joel.
Joel Blackledge, P.O. Box 8155, Gulfport, Mississippi.
Let me ask one question, Joel, before you start. Did anybody waive their time to Joel?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you got 3 minutes.
Mine's short.
Okay.
I'm an attorney from Biloxi. I represent Terry and Don Duff, Mo Landry, and Paul Brown. Not going to go rehash anything that I have previously said. Just want to remind the City Council that to support a change in zoning, you have to find that there is either a mistake in the original zoning or that there has been a change in the character of the neighborhood together with a public need for the change. And I think you have heard sufficient evidence that there has not been a change. From memory and from review, I don't think that there has been put forth by the proponent of the change any indication that there has been a change in the character of the neighborhood other than, yeah, there's been a change in the character of the neighborhood. That's not sufficient. They have to come in with concrete evidence, clear and convincing evidence to support such a change. That's all I have.
Thank
I will
you.
yield the rest of my time to Paul Brown.
Thank you, Joel.
Okay, Rachel?
My name is Rachel Tatro. I live at 85567 Diamond Head Drive West. Main reason I came here tonight was just to, they've touched on a little bit about the fire department. And if you put a four-story building up, you're going to need a fire department to be able to reach that fourth story. And I'm just wondering has anybody talked about who's going to pay for that? Because not only will you need the truck, but you're going to need a building to house it. You're going to need the land to put the building on, and who's going to pay for that? Is that going to be something that us homeowners have to pay for, or is it this project? Who's going to pay for it? Another thing is, I've only been here for a couple of years, and the first few months I noticed that in the back of my home is a creek that runs down and around, and I've noticed in your resolution and agendas there's a ton of different drainage problems, so I'm not sure where mine fits in, but right away I called, and whoever was there at the time had someone come out and really brought the backhoes and cleared the ditch, because it was like beaver dams all behind there. And it flowed great for a year. But this past July, it started backing up again, and it floods out my backyard. So what I've noticed in following the creek down and where it goes and where, I can't tell on this resolutions and agenda if you already know about this problem or not, but I'm understanding that number 4 of Cardinal and number 5, you are responsible for that. The city is responsible for those holes or for that drainage area. And it backs up there every time. The drainage culverts are not big enough. And so every time it rains and all the debris comes through, the leaves and sticks and all that, backs it up, and they've got to go out there and clean all that up in order for it to continue on. And that feeds down to me and backs up mine. I'm at the low spot. But, so Cardinal number 4 and 5, the culverts need to be larger so they can account for all this rainwater that's coming down and not back up to where it leads all the way back to my house. 85567 Diamond Head Drive West.
I wrote your address down, and we will give it to the city manager and have him look at that. Thank you. Okay, Gerard. Horan. Oh, you yielded yours. See, I was going to give you 3 more. Okay, Trina.
Hi, my name's Trina Cucci. I am a resident at 88150 Gulf Club Drive. This April, I will have been a resident of Diamond Head for 40 years. And I'm also an owner of 17 years of a commercial building on Indian Hill Boulevard. I'm very opposed to changing the zoning. And as a commercial owner, of course, I've wondered why there's not a lot of commercial property owners in Diamond Head here. And then I realized the majority of our property is shopping strips. I believe Indian Hill is the main Class C commercial space that we have, but also in the back, back toward the Ramada, and back there, there's some, but they're not, up front here where we really need some Class A commercial space. In the past few years, I probably turned away 6 people that are looking for, we're talking not businesses that belong in a shopping strip. They belong in Class A commercial space. I think that it is a waste of putting a high-rise in a C-zone already where we are in desperate need of space for some of these businesses, and I'm talking legal businesses, real estate agents, title companies, insurance companies, mortgage companies that, that need quality space. I wish I had more space to offer. I'm a mortgage lender, been financing in Diamond Head for 30 years. I have to make a wise decision. This isn't about my pockets and financing 58 units and what I could, make on that. This is about making a reasonable and wise decision on what's best for our community here. And to give up that kind of square foot acreage to put a high rise when we're in so much need of Class A commercial space to be able to rent to some of these companies that want to come into Diamond Head, that would just make it more of a, you can basically almost live in Diamond Head, but and not ever leave, but it would be nice to have these other companies be able to have space in Diamond Head to rent. And so when I'm turning away 3 and 4 people a year because I don't have the rental space, it just makes sense that we would leave it C-zone and not change. Very against it. Okay?
Thank you. Okay, Evelyn?
Let's see how my mouth is picking up, huh? Nobody can hear. He calls me a big mouth. Anyway, Evelyn Hart, I live at 85007 Diamond Head Lakes Boulevard. And this is kind of a little, I don't know, stepchild, I think, right now of Diamond Head. What I need to know is, does the city or does Elliott Homes designate roads in our subdivision, in and out of a subdivision? I don't know. I cannot get a correct answer. Ying says yes, Bing says no. So I'm living there. I can hardly get out of my subdivision because with the trucks going in and out, we've lost 9 feet 9 inches of going into Diamond Head, the little bridge. Coming out, there's ruttings in the centerpiece. So with no other entrances or exits, if this keeps going, and Elliott says they will not fix it until it's all done in 8 years, although we were promised when we moved in last year it will be 2024, I would like to kind of have an answer to that.
Thank you very much, and we will get you an answer. This is 2 meetings in a row we've heard about this, so we will get you an answer. All right, the next one we have, Harry. Let me...
I have to apologize. I I'm half blind right now. I got my eyes dilated.
Uh-oh.
My thing is that, once again, you bring up things to the council and to the manager, and they don't get done. Jex is still dark. 3 months. How much longer? We don't have lights at the circle. Have you been around the circle? Try to make the corner to Jex. Why? Who has to build that? Would it be Coast Electric? Would it be us? Or do we pay for it? Do we pay for the actual construction? Or do they put it up and charge us for the lighting? It seems to me that something should be done. Somebody's going to get hurt, somebody's going to get killed, and somebody's going to get sued. Great job on the Yellow House.
Yes. Great job on the Yellow House.
However, now we got another house on the corner of Bayou and Diamond Head North. How are you going to get up into that garage? How does that happen? How does it happen? Do we have people that go out on the site? Because I know they do. Because they picked on me for a trailer. Okay? We have somebody that's supposed to be going around looking at violations. It's embarrassing. Okay? I wish I'd have wrote down the streets. I went down, it comes out on Bayou Drive. I went down, there was a RV parked in the driveway. The next house had a trailer parked in it. The following house had a flatbed trailer, and the following house had a boat and trailer. And they wrote me up for my son's having a trailer at the back of my lot, not at the front. Look, I love it here, okay? I think we have a lot of potential. But people just aren't doing their jobs, And when it comes to the lighting, okay, I'm not sure, okay, I can't tell you that this is 100% true. I drove down Jex this afternoon. You know where Jex has that little turn?
That's time's up. Time's up.
Okay, well, it has that turn, and there's a light, and guess what?
This was a non-agenda item, and we're trying to just do agenda items right now.
We have one
We
more
have
left.
non-agenda items at the
Okay,
end.
that's fine.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you very much. All right, next we have Paul. Now, Paul, are you getting the 12 minutes?
Yeah, but I don't think you need 12 minutes.
Okay, how many you think you need? Less than 12.
If people ask questions, might have to go a little bit longer.
Okay. I'm going to put it, and you can, when you stop, you just stop. It's fine, because that's what you were given, that many.
All right. My name is Paul Brown, 5412 Lakeview Court. I want to thank everybody showing up tonight. I spoke to many of these people personally. I've been to many homes, and I got lots of signatures. Most everybody that I spoke to, every home I went to, invited me into their home. Everyone. And not one person that I spoke with was for this project. Not one. Not one. And after I sent out the cards, my phones have been blowing up. I've got tons more petitions out there that I got to go pick up. I had some other ladies helping me, because it got to be overwhelming trying to deal with all of this. But I think everything negative about this project has been said tonight by the other people here. There's no sense me rehashing that and going over what they said. I'm just saying that I think this should have never been done, and it was done improperly to begin with. I'd like a show of hands of how many people received any notification about this planning change from the city.
We do announcements, but we're not going to direct to the
So
audience.
you have to direct to the council.
No.
You can't direct to the people here.
Well, none of these people that I talked to, other than the people that live on Lakeview Court, received a letter. I even went back to City Hall and asked for the list of who was supposed to receive the letters. I was given a list. I went back out, knocked on doors. This list was over 8 years old. When I asked, are you Mr. Such and Such? No, I bought this house from that man 8 years ago. I went back to City Hall and said, where is all this return mail? If you sent all these letters out to people, I was lied to. No letters were sent. I went back and I asked them, I said, if you sent letters to all these people, and I went to them people's homes off their list, and they never received it. So, well, naturally I went back and asked them, where's your return mail? I just got a blank stare. Planning and zoning aren't doing their job. Period. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I believe that we've captured everybody. Did I miss anyone that was on the list? Okay. Do you want to come up? Oh, you did pass your time. Okay, then we have gotten everybody on the list except Mr. Ronnie. Yours is about sewer problems. Is yours about sewer problems with the condos? Well, you're the last person, so we're going to let you come early.
My name's Ronnie Wenzel.
And give me one
I'm
second, Mr. Ronnie. I got to set your time. So say your address and your name.
Yeah, it's 780 Maui Court. Name's Ronald Wenzel. I'm a retired oil field engineer for 33 years with ENSCO. Worked around the world, lived in Singapore for many years. But my big problem is right here because, you know, I've been here back in 2019 discussing the same thing, and here again 2021, and here I am 2 years later. It seems like every 2 years. Anytime you get a heavy rain here in Diamond Head, you get all the sewage back up. I first started when I woke up that morning on December 2nd. According to my rain gauge, it rained 8.5 inches here in Diamond Head where I live. I don't know about everybody else, but it really came down. And when that happens, I said, well, heck, I got to go do some investigating. So I'll go down Diamond Head Drive, go to, I call it twin septic tanks because that's what it is. If you don't believe me, here, I got a picture, and if y'all want to take a look at it, I'll pass it around. This is the sewage thing that's back up in the woods by Twin Lakes. And you can see it's almost like, you know, a 5-foot wave coming out. It's lifting the cover. And when that happens, of course, when it drains down, you see, some people can see it close, you can see all the green grass that's coming down from this right here to the lake in the bottom. And what that does, of course, it's so green and rich looking is because it's septic. And then here on Diamond Head Drive, they blacktop over the 2 manhole sewage drains there on Diamond Head Drive by Twin Lakes. And what they did is they, when they put the blacktop over it, it already busted it all up, and then the people here go out there and put some chlorine tablets, like that's going to help. They did that 2 years ago. I had the DEQ and the EPA come down there. I said, hey, I want y'all to take some samples of the lakes there and give me the report back. Never heard a damn thing from them. That's how the shit goes here. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Ronnie. Okay, now I think we've captured all the comments, the public comments. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to the minutes. And I'm going to move to correct the minutes, move to approve and correct the December 5th, 2023 minutes to be revised. Motion 2023-395 on page 8. The mayor voted no to accept the financial audit, and it says I voted yes. And I was a no. Okay, so let's correct that. So I move. Could I get a second? Second made by Councilman Finley. All in favor? Aye. So can I get someone to move from the table? Oh, that was you, Mr. Ronnie. A motion to move from the table Resolution 2023-041.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We need to move it from the table. These are tabled items. Could I get a motion to remove it from the table?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Mark. Could I get a second? Second made by Councilman Finley. All in favor? Aye. Could I get a motion to adopt Resolution 2023-041, thereby concurring with the Planning Commission recommendation for rezoning of tax parcel 132A-2-03-28.000, owned by Cure Land Company, LLC, from the current zoning from C1 General Commercial District to TCMU Town Center Mixed Use. The physical address is 5410 Jex Drive. The case file number is 202300417. The purpose of the zoning change is for condominium development. Motion? Second call for a motion. If there's no call for a motion, then the motion will die.
Hold on.
Okay, we're moving on to...
Mayor, a point of order, just to make sure we're doing
Point of
this
order.
procedurally correct, if you don't mind. So, and I'm just trying to think through this, because this is not, I don't recall this actually happening before. We have a recommendation to approve from Planning and Zoning. So they're entitled to a decision by the council, as we talked about previously. They agreed, the applicant agreed to continue it to this time, but they still need a decision by the council in either a yes or no, in order to perfect the record.
Okay.
So that if there is an appeal taken, we have
a motion.
We have a motion.
Okay,
So-
well, let me see if someone will move again. Could I get could I get someone to make a motion to move to adopt Resolution 2023-041, thereby concurring with the Planning Commission?
Move.
Motion made by Councilman Cumberland, second.
Second.
Second made by Councilman Finley. Any discussion to my left?
I just want to say one thing. I think this is brought up to me anyway, that we need to relook at the height structures of buildings going on in Diamond Head, and that we should not have anything more than 3 stories tall. Not for this area, for anything. We should not have the mid-rises allowing for 50 feet.
Okay, we
That it
have to
should
be
only
quiet in
be
the audience.
For 3 stories at the most in any place in Diamond Head, is what I'm saying. This has brought that to my attention, that this is too tall of a building for Diamond Head. And I would also like to say, I love driving up Jex Drive and seeing all those trees once you get past the storage units and going to the pond. My one concern, and this is a very big concern, is that if it remains commercial and it's rented out to somebody doing commercial, They're not going to keep those trees. They're going to want to see their commercial place visible. And that's why this was thought of in terms of protect the trees, protect that buffer, so that a commercial doesn't take down all those trees. This was going to keep 90% of the trees along Jex Drive and just take down the ones for that entrance and exit road. However, not for discussion, this is just what I'm saying, what this is all brought to me. This isn't on the table today. I just wanted to say, as part of my voting no on this, is that these are the things that brought to my attention that we need to look into in general in the city. That's all.
All right, any comments to my right? City Clerk.
No, I'm sorry, I have a comment. I think that, we're looking at a zoning change here, and we're not being asked to approve the condo project, but the zoning change obviously is for the condos, and when we look at the criteria for a zoning change, I'm a no, because I don't think we meet the criteria. I think that the neighborhood has changed, but to its detriment. I mean, we got a Dollar General and an area that got cleared in a terrible, terrible way. And so I think, and also at the end of the day, we're here to represent you, and the public is overwhelmingly against this. So,
any other comments to my right? Okay, and with that being said, I've sat here for many years, and I think everybody knows, even though if I thought this was the best project out there, if you all came to me and asked me not to vote, and I've never seen people turn out like this tonight. Y'all need to get more engaged all the time. I know all of you. Yes, y'all need to come, get engaged. What you did and how hard you worked is why I'm not voting for it tonight, because I hear you loud and clear. My phone has heard you very loud and clear. So, with that being said, City Clerk.
Finley,
No.
Lisi,
no.
Cumberland,
No.
Marr,
No.
Mayor.
No. All right, we're moving on to resolutions. So if anybody wishes to leave before I start the resolutions, y'all want to exit so you can be quiet and we'll start the resolutions.
Where you leaving? Where you going? You're gonna miss something. Something awesome.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You did fine. Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to resolutions. Could I get a motion to adopt Resolution 2023, thereby a motion to adopt Resolution 2023, thereby declaring that Ward 4 Council vacancy exists, effective December 5th, 2023, ordering a special election to be held on
Mayor, I'm sorry, but we can't hear you.
January 30th. All right, let's be a little quiet, moving out, please. Thank you. And for other related purposes. Motion?
Move.
Motion made by Councilman Cumberland, second.
Second.
Second made by Councilwoman Lisi. Any discussion to my left? Any discussion to my right? City Clerk.
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Marr,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 2023-427, motion to adopt Resolution 2023-053, thereby authorizing by quitclaim certain real property to the rightful owners, Mary E. and Stephen B. Simons. Motion?
Move.
And I'm going to second. Any discussion to my left? Any discussion to my right? I just want to say I'm glad the Simons got their property back.
Amen.
City Clerk.
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi.
Yes.
Cumberland.
Yes.
Marr,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 2023-428, motion to adopt Resolution 2023-4054, thereby acquiring by donation certain easement for construction of a walking trail and pier from Purcell Company, Inc. Motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Marr, second.
Second.
Second made by Councilman Finley. Any discussion to my left? Any discussion to my right? City Clerk.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Where is that, John? I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just curious.
This is the Montjoy Creek,
okay.
trail.
Okay, thank
So
you.
it'll go from Diamond Head Drive north, or no, Diamond Head Drive east.
And
Or
thank
north.
you.
No, north.
Up
It's
through-
Diamond
up
Head
through-
Drive north
up
to Rotten
through,
Bayou.
Up
Okay.
to Rotten Bayou.
Thank you.
And you can already see it's cleared out if you're going down north. You
And
can
thank
already
you to
see
Priscilla.
part of it. Okay, City Clerk.
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Marr,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 2023-431, motion to adopt Resolution 2023-055, authorizing the mayor to execute an interlocal agreement between Hancock County, Mississippi Chancery Clerk, and the City of Diamond Head for the collection of delinquent taxes.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Marr. Mayor will second. Any discussion to my left? Discussion to my right? City Clerk.
Finley.
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland.
Yes.
Marr.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 2023-432, motion to adopt Resolution 2023-056, authorizing the mayor to execute an interlocal cooperation agreement between Hancock County, Mississippi Tax Collector, and the Mississippi Diamond Head for the collection of taxes.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Marr,
Second.
second by Councilman Finley. Any discussion to my left? Any discussion to my right? City Clerk.
Finley.
Yes.
Lisi.
Yes.
Cumberland.
Yes.
Marr.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 2023-443, motion to adopt Resolution 2023-058 to approve a text amendment in accordance with the zoning ordinance.
Wait, you skip one.
Okay, I'll come back to it. In accordance with the zoning article 2.8 amendment rezoning procedure. The proposed text amendment will make the following change to the Code of Ordinance, Appendix B, subdivision regulations. The text amendment will changes are in red on the attached. The case file number is 202300437. Motion?
Move.
Motion made by Councilman Finley. Second? I'll second. Second by Mayor. Any discussion to my left? Discussion to my right? I have a few. Do we have somebody here from? Pat. So this was in red. And I only have a few questions. Mainly, the questions were, we looked and we addressed if a subdivision is being built and the contractor does not, Phase 2 connects, and then the road ends and Phase 1 continues on in Phase 2, we're not going to allow the road to end without putting in a temporary turnaround.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
And so what has changed on, was it the length?
well, the temporary term, first of all, it was the cul-de-sac defining that for the fire trucks.
Right.
Okay, so they can get around that. And then the hammerhead situation where it would define that, what the lengths for that was. They also, this is a result, just to kind of bring you all up to date, as lessons learned. You know, we've gone through a couple of finals with subdivisions, and we learned many lessons. So we tried to incorporate that. We got Ben and Andrew working on this for us, and this was the finished product of that. So this was basically run by Andrew with our input and the result of it. Now, I apologize for it not being in red. I just found out that we don't print them in color. So
I did get mine in red.
Oh, well, very good. Okay. Well, I know somebody didn't, so.
Okay,
So-
well, that's all that I had. I saw that and I thought, well, that needed to be updated.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, and I fully expect that as we go along and go through some more of these, we'll come across lessons learned again, and then we'll act accordingly on that.
And ordinance are living things. They have to be
Well,
changed.
yes, they are, and
Yes.
we're learning people, so we're encountering things that we haven't had experience doing before, and we're learning through this experience and then correcting our mistakes.
All right, thank you. That's all
You're
I had.
welcome.
Any other questions? All right, City Clerk.
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Marr,
Yes.
and Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 2023-433, motion to adopt Resolution 2023-057, authorizing the mayor to execute the interlocal cooperation agreement between the Hancock County tax collector and the city of Diamond Head for collection of solid waste fees. Motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Marr. The mayor will second. Any discussion to my left? Any discussion to my right? City Clerk?
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Marr,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Consent agenda items 12 through 25. Motion?
Move.
Motion made by Councilman Finley, second.
Second.
Second made by Councilman Marr. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the amended rental agreement for the Activity Center and City Hall grounds. Motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Marr, second.
Second.
Second made by Councilman Finley. Any discussion to my left? Discussion to my right? I had a few questions. So now the cost has gone up from 100 to 150. Okay. How is, the Boy Scouts keep wanting to rent the activity room. Is this going to allow them, or are they still not going to be able to rent it?
No, ma'am, it still does not allow reoccurring rentals.
Okay. And then I saw something about you have to rent portalettes. Are the bathrooms not going to be?
Only if you, I believe it's only if it's a large number or something like that, or outside event. But
Like really,
it's
really?
not a specific, or it's not a requirement to have.
As I was concerned. Any other things that change that we should know about?
I don't believe so, no, ma'am.
Yes, Mayor. I made the revisions to the rental agreement,
Okay,
and it was just one of those instances where it was time, as, you know, every couple of years, we need to review any contracts and agreements that we have, and we need to make sure that we're meeting all of the requirements we need for insurance and other related purposes. I feel like it was all pretty standard.
Standard things we changed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. City, well, all in favor? Aye. Motion. Excuse me. My phone's trying to call somebody. Okay. Could I get a motion to nominate Councilman Shane Finley as Mayor Pro Tem Tempora?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman Lisi. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second made by Councilman Marr. Any discussion to my left? Any discussion to my right? I just want to say Councilman Chuck Clark was our Mayor Pro Tem, and in the event that I am absent or not here, he would have taken over as Mayor Pro Tem. So now that this is our first meeting without Councilman Clark, we have to have another Mayor Pro Tem. So congratulations, Councilman Finley.
We got to vote.
All in favor? Oh, we have to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to have AGJ, could I get a motion to have AGJ provide City of Diamond Head council members copies of all emails sent to Mayor DePrio to engineers working up under a master service agreement with the City of Diamond Head, and emails sent from Mayor DePrio to the City of Diamond Head's manager dating from June 1st, 2022 to present. Motion?
Move.
Motion made by Councilman Cumberland. Second?
Second.
Second made by Councilman Finley. Any discussion to my left? Discussion to my right? All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm a no. Not that I have anything to hide. Anybody want my emails, you can have them. But there's reasons. Okay. Could I get a motion to concur with the Planning Commission's recommendation to remove the moratorium for landscape culverts, accept the policy for permitting landscape culverts, and establish a permit fee of $300 for landscape culverts? File case number 2023-00497. Motion?
Move.
Motion made by Finley, second.
Second.
Second made by Cumberland. Any discussion to my left?
Yeah, the one thing I have an issue with, and I've already talked to Pat about this, and he said he would get it changed, is that we had talked about at a meeting about 18 months ago that moving forward, any culverts would be able to handle a 100-year event,
Right.
not a 25-year event. And it did say in this it would be a 25-year event, so I just want that clear that I'm voting yes only if it's amended to the 100.
I concur exactly, because that was my comment on it. Looking at the plans that we had done just recently for the Kaliki project, we took out several hundred lineal feet of subsurface drainage pipes. So what does that mean? These are pipes that were undersized, landscape culverts that caused flooding issues because they were undersized. So looking at the construction plans, we see those are being removed. Open ditches and larger culverts are being put in. If we don't do it to the 100-year, we're going to have issues. It's pointless. So, I'm very leery about getting this back because Beauview, which we just awarded to the contract, the cost is $117,000. You know, a landscape culvert played a big part in the flooding there. So I'm not going to move unless it's 100 years. It change into 100-year because that's 25 is not going to get it.
I make a recommendation that someone make a motion to amend it to make that change after you guys are done the discussion.
All right, so why don't we amend the motion while we have it? Okay, who made the motion?
Finley.
Finley, do you want to move to amend the motion to have?
Move to amend the motion as noted with caveat that it would be 100-year versus 25.
Okay.
Second.
All right.
Good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Claims payable. A motion to approve the docket of claims DKT 231310, DKT 231348 in the amount of $1,004,939.64. Motion made by Councilman Finley. Second.
Second.
Second made by Councilman Marr. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve payroll payable dockets of claims DKT 231300, $231309 in the amount of $69,995.60. PR claim 010181, the amount of $35,260.97. PR claim 010182 in the amount of $31,789.70. And PR claim 01083 in the amount of $2,898.79. Motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Marr, second.
Second.
Second made by Councilman Cumberland. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve department reports.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Lisi, and I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any need for executive session?
No, ma'am.
Motion to adjourn?
Move.
Motion made by Councilman Finley, second.
She had a non-agenda?
Sec-
She had a non-agenda?
AGJ is the city's internet, is the city's service for,
Managed IT service.
yeah, they manage the IT.
So they just turn over the, is that a big cost or anything?
Last time it was a big cost for a resident, so it's probably gonna be a couple of, I would say closer to the 1,000, because last time it was like $585.
No, ma'am, it was about $350 last time.
For 6 months. We have 18. All right. So, all in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
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 There was no second
Yeah,
to
we-
adjourn.
I second it.
Mayor seconded?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have it.
Thank
You all have a wonderful, very Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming tonight.